So you've discovered the law of attraction and you've decided that you're ready to live the most expansive life that you could possibly live. You've decided that you're no longer going to attract anything small. You're going to use your ability to attract the biggest, best, and greatest life experience that you possibly can. Here's why starting too big can become a problem when it comes to using the law of attraction. The first thing I want to say is that there is no such thing as too big or too small when it comes to attracting what you want in your life. The universe doesn't have a standard or scale of big and small, especially when it comes to the things that you believe to be big or small in this universe. Everything that you could possibly imagine that you want to create is really considered small in the grand scheme of this vast universe and within the law of attraction. So big is really based on your own personal perception. Previously, when the law of attraction was introduced to everyone and it became a mainstream phenomena, there are lots of people who became incredibly excited and they anticipated that they were going to achieve the things they wanted simply by thinking positively, closing their eyes, and boom, magic would happen. Some people had the idea that they would become a millionaire within a couple of days, weeks, or even months, and that just about anything they wanted would come into play at the snap of a finger. And so they set out to create and to manifest the biggest thing that they could imagine. And oftentimes the biggest thing that we think is often money, and we think of millions and we think of large sums of money. Well, there's nothing wrong in having a vision that is grand. There's nothing wrong in having the idea of using the law of attraction to manifest millions of dollars. The problem isn't about the law of attraction or the $1 million, but the perception in your mind of big versus small. When you think about manifesting something like a gigantic house, there's already a story in your mind about what it takes to have that home. There's a process, and that process is perhaps gaining the money to have that large house or that big vision. And that vision comes with people, it comes with certain circumstances and many, many, many different things. Now, having it isn't the issue. It is what it entails to have it and maintain it. You have to ask yourself, are you ready to have that experience? Because if you perceive it as something very big, that is already an indication that it is out of alignment with where you presently are, and that having it may require a lot more steps, a lot more action, a lot more work to have and to also maintain or keep it in your life. When it comes to starting big, you've got to dissect your own thinking about what you perceive as big. And are you ready to toss everything you have away in pursuit of this bigger dream? Because that bigger dream requires many more steps. Now, by that, I do not mean that it is more difficult to attract, but it becomes maybe more involved. And that involvement may not necessarily mean the physical part, that physical step to get it, but involvement in terms of the change in your internal thinking process, going from a place of being small to a place of being big. Say, for example, you are exactly where you are, and you may have a very small home, and that small home only requires certain, maybe a very small amount of work on your part to maintain it and to pay the bills to maintain it, or maybe very little work to have and to keep it. So what happens when you envision something larger than your present condition or your present state? It requires more maintenance. We still live in the physical world. We still have to do the work it takes to maintain the things that we've created. And the question then becomes, are you ready for that? Are you ready for the responsibility of manifesting something that is dramatically outside of the realm of where you presently are. That's what determines whether it is bigger or smaller than when you are. It's based on, one, your perception, and also the work that is required to get and keep this supposedly bigger thing. But in the grand scheme of the reality and in nature, big and small in terms of manifesting isn't a problem. You can create whatever you want as long as you're willing to stay focused enough and to do the work required to bring yourself into alignment with having that thing. But if you have it in your head that something is way grander than where you presently are, you've got to ask yourself, what work is it going to take to get it? And what work is it going to take to maintain it? And are you ready to do what is necessary to have that experience? If you found this information helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. And please click the link inside this video in order to receive free audio program to help you manifest the things that you want a lot faster.